Thank you, Mark and Glenn, Leo, and Tom, and everyone, and good morning. On behalf of the National Science Foundation, it's my distinct pleasure to join in welcoming you to today's event, which marks years of innovation and progress in advanced networking. I'm very pleased to be joined by my colleagues from the White House and the Department of Commerce and the Department of Education, along with other federal agencies, and of course all the universities and research institutes that are represented here. And as Dr. Khalil said, we were treated to very special demonstrations which showed the application of this work to personal health, to safety and security, and to science education, which are passions of all of us, I know, and my imagination was lighting up as I saw these demonstrations and thinking about all the work ahead of us at the National Science Foundation, especially in the area of science education, and how profound it would be to involve not only researchers at universities and graduate students, as Dr. Khalil was talking about, but also the teachers across the United States in getting a hold of this kind of technology to bring science into their classrooms in a very hands-on way so that children's imaginations can be lit up. And who knows what the outcome would be. Hopefully they'll be sitting in these seats one day. Well, I'm very thrilled to be here with all of you who have come from across the country and around the world to be part of this event. It's because of your collective efforts that we're able to look forward today to a smart and connected future. Nearly 30 years ago, NSF initiated NSFNet, a general-purpose research network that sought to link researchers to the nation's supercomputing facilities. And who could have envisioned the advances that we have witnessed since then? I was happy as a young researcher, as a graduate student, just to be able to email my manuscripts across the world, the draft versions with colleagues and all, and I thought that was just a wonderful transformation. And now, decades later, to see all that we're able to do is truly thrilling. Through additional public funding and private industry partnerships, NSFNet then led to breakthrough discoveries in network architectures, protocols, and applications. And these ultimately developed into what would become today's internet. Beyond NSFNet, we've pursued fundamental advances in networking and information technology that have transformed our world, from sensor networks to real-time data analytics to mobile and ubiquitous computing. Today, of course, we all carry smartphones. We email, we tweet, we Facebook, we FaceTime, and that's really brought us together as a big creative family. And Google, which traces its origins back to NSF funding of a Stanford Digital Library project in the 1990s, and talk about silly-sounding names of projects. Google's, that research was actually called Backrub in its title, okay? So be aware that even a silly-sounding name can lead to billions of dollars in industry. Google is now, of course, today a verb. Not only is it synonymous with searching for information, but it's really changed our economy and how we act and interact all over the world. Taken together, our fundamental research advances have accelerated the pace of discovery in nearly all fields, and they've enabled us to achieve national priorities and sustain economic competitiveness. We continue to innovate. NSF has nurtured and grown new communities of network researchers, experimenters, and developers, like those of you in the room who continue to advance the capabilities and user experiences afforded by the internet for generations to come. And that's why I'm really happy to be here today to help you celebrate the accomplishments of two long-term and significant investments by the SAIS Directorate: the Global Environment for Network Innovations, or GENI, and the U.S. Ignite Initiative. Since its inception in 2007, NSF's investments in Genie have allowed us to build an at-scale virtual laboratory for network experimentation. Today, Genie spans over 60 university campuses throughout the US and has collaborators in 30 countries all over the world. It relies on partnerships with leading network companies. Many of you, academic researchers, industry partners, international collaborators, are with us here this morning. Your efforts have helped our nation lead the world in advanced network, and we want to continue to push along that front. We truly want to continue to be the world leaders. Today, more than 3,500 researchers around the globe have used Genie to conduct networking and scientific experiments in ways that are simply not possible on today's production internet. Over 100,000 experiments have been run on Genie. Two key innovations enabled by Genie, at-scale end-to-end experimentation, and the ability to customize one's network, have also led to a new paradigm called software-defined networking. Through partnerships with leading network companies, SDN, as it's known, has become a multi-billion-dollar market in itself in just a matter of years, and it's anticipated to top $35 billion by the year 2018. Moreover, while Genie started out simply as an experimental platform, it's given rise to a whole new way of networking that is allowing us to revolutionize cyber infrastructure deployments at college and university campuses across the country. To leverage our investments in Genie and take advantage of this programmable virtual laboratory, NSF, in collaboration with federal, state, and local governments and industry partners, launched the US Ignite initiative just a few years ago. I think it was 2012. US Ignite is connecting islands of ultra-high-speed broadband networks across the nation and demonstrating the potential of game-changing new applications that can take advantage of these connections. These apps are affording new ways to provide never-before-imagined services. As you'll see this morning, they're beginning to transform public safety, healthcare, education and learning, energy, transportation, manufacturing, and as I mentioned, also science education. Showcasing the potential of these next-generation applications, especially in addressing societal challenges, has proven that access to ultra-high-speed network connections is critically important for our future. For too long, there's been a chicken and egg problem between the demand for and demonstrated use of ultra-high-speed networking. Breaking this deadlock can have tremendous implications for our nation's prosperity in the long term. In fact, since US Ignite's launch 3 years ago, we've seen nearly 40 cities and regions across the nation deploy gigabit connections to homes and businesses, and over 100 concepts and prototypes of applications that leverage these advanced networks have emerged. The result is that secure programmable networks and next-generation public sector apps are making their way into our schools and our libraries and hospitals and homes and communities across the nation. Through the efforts of entrepreneurs, community organizers, and business leaders, these technologies, enabled by NSF investments and research, are giving rise to transformational approaches for conducting science and engineering broadly, and a brand new ecosystem of application and innovation and sharing unlike anything ever before. This is just tremendously exciting when you think of all the applications that are still to come. Finally, before I conclude, let me recognize all those who have worked so hard over the years to catalyze this moment. I, too, want to thank Mark Berman, Chip Elliott, Heidi Dempsey, Marshall Bryn, Tom Mitchell, and the rest of the team at the Genie Project Office. along with Sue Spradley, Bill Wallace, Glenn Reichart, and the rest of the team at the U.S. Ignite Public-Private Partnership. And I'd like to acknowledge all the NSF staff who have supported and enabled these efforts over the years, including the current team of Keith Marzullo, Erwin Gianchandini, and Brian Lyles. And most importantly, I'd like to thank all of you, the research and education community. You make this happen. You've done the research, the experimentation, the educational activities. Without you, we wouldn't be having this meeting, we wouldn't be celebrating these achievements, we wouldn't be looking into a smart future. Thank you very much, and good luck.